Hello and welcome to the greatest ever 100% verifiably accurate virtual walking tour of St David's. I'm local amateur historian Liam McKenna, and over the next 14 and a half hours I'm going to take you on a whirlwind exclusive tour of some of the greatest sights that St David's has to offer. But first, let's have some health and safety announcements. Unfortunately, Risk Assessment Rachel, who would normally be here to help me with the journey, is otherwise isolating. So I'm going to take you through some health and safety tips right now before we get going. First things first, stay where you are. That concludes the health and safety announcements. Well, are you ready? Then let's begin. Welcome to St David's, the smallest city in Great Britain, and the most westerly point in the British Isles. That's if you discount Scotland, Northern Ireland and parts of Cornwall. Right now we're stood outside Oriella Park, St David's Tourist Information Centre. This site here dates back to the Roman period, about 2,000 years ago. It's one of the earliest examples of tourist information centres in the whole of Wales. Now, of course, if you'd been here about the turn of the century, around about 2002, all you would have seen would have been a big mound. Yes, a big mound. The St David's Mound, they used to call it. That's until a team of archaeologists came along, did a bit of geophysics, discovered a perfectly preserved tourist information centre buried beneath. In fact, thanks to advances in science and technology, we're able to show you exactly what that mound used to look like. And you can tell it's Roman from the features going around, particularly the guttering there. Classic Roman irrigation. Now 2,000 years ago, if you'd been stood outside Oriella Park as it was back in the day, you'd have been stood on the old Roman road leading out of the ancient port of Menevia. And just behind us here we've got the old Roman towers here. We've got you can at least see one of them there. The surviving gatehouse. The other gatehouse was across the road in a car park. Now back in the 1990s they dug up that car park across the road in search of the tower, and you know what they found underneath that car park? Another car park dating back to the 1970s. And while they didn't find much remains of the old tower, they did find a lot of information which has given us a great insight into what life was like for the people of St David's back in the 1970s. And particularly they found a lot of old parking spaces and a very well preserved ticket machine and the skeleton of a 1970s St David's parking attendant. Now all of this parking paraphernalia is on permanent display in an exhibition down at Porthatur, which we'll be seeing later on. Well worth a visit if you're into that sort of thing.